Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Nathan Hall and this is the Ministry of Mindset channel. On this channel, we talk about matters of mindset, how to achieve a premier mindset using biblical principles and spiritual precepts. Thank you so much for joining. If you're new here, I need you to hit that like and follow and share. Let people know where we are, what we're doing, what we're all about. If you've been liking the content so far, throw a comment down below. Let me know what's going on. This is the Moment of Clarity series. And for the next few weeks, I told you last week, we were going to be talking about, let me get this earpiece settled. I told you last week we were going to start talking about fear and how to combat fear. So this is just going to be a short introduction to the series. I just want to let you know that you may have heard over the years that fear is not real. I want to challenge that statement by saying I believe fear to be a very real thing. I believe fear to be a spirit. The Bible says God has not given us a spirit of fear, meaning there is a spirit of fear that can be obtained, but of love, power, and a sound mind. That also talks about, Bible also talks about several times, especially in the Old Testament, God speaking to the children of Israel, God speaking to people like Joshua, saying, do not be afraid. Do not fear. Have no fear. Why? Because fear is real. It's not a false evidence appearing real. It is a very real thing appearing real. And it debilitates us to the point where we cannot make a move. We cannot do anything unless we are able to overcome and combat fear. What is fear? Fear can be defined as a feeling or an emotion about the perception of danger, real or imagined. Now, I'm talking about real, actual fear. You're afraid of something. You're afraid to do. You're afraid to not to do. You're afraid to go or not to go. You're afraid of a thing, a place, or a person. And I'm talking about the kind of fear that holds you back from being everything that you're supposed to be in life. I'm talking about the kind of fear that stops you from moving forward with the plans you have, the goals you have, the call on your life, the purpose, the destiny that you're pursuing. I'm talking about that kind of fear. I'm not talking about being afraid of spiders, even though that's a real thing. I'm not talking about being afraid of clowns. Clowns get on my nerves. I'm not afraid of them. They just get on my nerves. Oh my God. Clowns. I can't take it. But anyway, I'm saying fear to the point where you know there's something that you need to do. You know that God has called you to do something. You know that you're being pulled in a direction that's going to take you to greatness. But for some reason, you're afraid to go forward. You're afraid to make the move. You're afraid of what might happen. You're afraid of who might reject you or who might not accept you. You're afraid of failure. You're sometimes afraid of success. And in this series, we're going to talk about those barriers that fear creates to getting to the next level in your life or to getting to the call on your life. We're going to talk about how fear and pride are connected. They go hand in hand because I believe that fear is deeply rooted in pride, spiritual pride. Pride saying that I have a concept for my life and I have a feeling about my life and the direction of my life that is opposed to what I'm supposed to be doing or opposed to what God's vision for my life is. And so when you're in fear, you're saying to yourself and to others that I put more value on what the thing is that I'm afraid of than what I'm supposed to be doing or what I know to be right or the direction I'm supposed to be going or God's identity for me. I place more value on that fear, on that object, that person, that place, that thing than I do on what God has to say about me and the direction He wants me to go. So that is very, very, very prideful when you start to elevate the feelings of yourself above the call on your life, the purpose for your life, the things that you know to be right. Like here's a classic example of how fear can stop people. Let's just say you got a bill, okay? A bill that needs to be paid. You don't have the money. The bill collector's calling. You're afraid to pick up the phone. You don't want to have to deal with that bill collector. You don't have the resources right now. You don't have the answers. So you have an actual apprehensive fear to pick up the phone and talk to those bill collectors. When God says, I have all the supply you need. I have your back. Don't be afraid because I'm with you. So if you pick up the phone and make the call, you don't know what kind of favor he's going to rain down in that conversation. But because you have elevated your personal feelings about the matter over what God has called you to do, he has called you to handle your business, be a good steward, you are instead going to give fear the life. And in doing so, you're putting your credit at risk. They're coming looking for you. The bill collectors are calling your house. They're hounding you. They're adding to the apprehension. They're coming to get your car. They're repossessing the couch. They might even go after your paycheck. Come on, all because you had a fear of dealing with that issue. Now your family's in jeopardy. Things are tense around the house. Your kids are cold, without power, without heat. All that negative stuff happens because of the fear and the elevated sense of self that you have that places your ideas and your feelings about the matter over the right thing to do. So pride tells you, I'm more important than what God or the word or the right thing is. I'm more important to that. And so that's how fear builds, because you have an elevated sense of self that is stopping you in your tracks and stopping you from moving towards what you need to be moving towards. So that is going to be the whole premise, so to speak, the foundation of where we're going to go. I just wanted to stop in real quick and let you know I haven't forgotten. And this is going to be the kickoff, the defining fear, kind of give you the direction of where we're going. And in the next video, we're going to dig in deeper and start giving you some strategies and plans how to counteract and to combat those things so that you don't live in fear, how you can defeat and have victory over fear and finally overcome that in your life and begin to walk in the purpose and the callings that you're supposed to be. We want you on this channel to be all that you were called to be and do all that you are meant to do. We want you to be the person that you were created to be. And you cannot do that if you have shackles around your ankles and your legs and your hands called fear. Let's get free from fear and let's move forward in greatness. This is the Ministry of Mindset channel. We say state of mind equals state of being. If we get this thing lined up right, how we behave and the life that we see before us is going to get lined up as well. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time. Take care.